and we are going to have Michael in Jurassic on our show, and she is not a palm reader, but a scientific hand analyzer. She is going to tell us what you can tell about yourself by just looking at the lines in your hands.
Wow, that sounds interesting right there.
I know if she looked at my hands, she would go, "Oh my God, that is a moron if I ever seen one."
Well, she's gonna analyze my hands, so I'm gonna put my soul out there for this one.
Okay, make sure you take your gloves off this time, huh?
Yeah. If it don't fit, you must have quit.
Well, everybody, hey, the show is over. I want to thank you, James, for coming on, and everybody.
Thank you for having me.
Everybody, you want to find him on Facebook and watch him. I mean, he does a very good show. A lot of people listen to him. He's very sincere in what he does, and he's also caring. And he put up with me for like a little over 2 hours. So that wins him brownie points right there in my book. And Michael, I
can talk to you all day long.
And Michael, hey, what can I say? He's somewhere there and somewhere there, and the guy is everywhere. I don't know how he has this much energy at his age. I don't know how you do it.
Well, you know, Gary, I'm just trying to keep up with you because whatever I'm doing, you're doing about 10 times more. So you're my hero.
Oh, you're just saying that because you're on my network.
There you go.
Now,
there you go.
You won one brownie point. Okay, guys.
It's not a sardine point.
Hey, next time you come over, instead of we're not going to have teriyaki. You know what we're going to have?
I know what we're going to have.
Stick.
Hey, I'm going to get you a bowl of sardines. Hey, I don't know if you guys, I hate to say it. I had to take a pain pill half an hour ago, and for my medical condition. It's not because I'm trying to get high, which probably is true also. But
well, you should take a few more if that's the case. One won't do it.
Yeah, it was actually 1.5, but don't tell anybody.
Okay.
Do you guys, I would really like to end it right at the even time frame, which is about 12 minutes from now. Do you guys want to go on and we can talk this? People like this type of talk. Seriously, my chat pages on all 3 of these apps right now, people are, and I'm typing back to them. They're going crazy. They love it.
Oh, that's, Gary, I actually have to go pick up my son, he's a cook at Sherry's restaurant, by the way.
Oh, yeah. You mean you can't have, wait a minute. Okay. Okay.
Here it comes.
Okay, here it comes. You don't support your son at Sherry's, which has the world's best pies?
Well, you know what? He's trying to lobby the UFOI team to hang out at Sherry's for the meeting. So who knows what's going to happen here?
Oh, I can
Do they have better internet?
There's going to be a war. There's going to be a battle between Denny's and Cherry's.
Well,
there you go.
Just tell them all they have to do with your team is offer you a free slice of pie. I guarantee everybody in your group will jump to Sherry's instantly over Denny's coffee.
Well, guess what? This is just a weird synchronicity. Every Wednesday night, the same night and the same time that we have our weekly meetings is free pie night at Sherry's restaurant.
Oh, it's done deal right there. Boom.
I'll even make the drive. I will make the drive from the harbor at the compound to Linwood just to go there and have free pie.
Free pie night.
Yeah, as long as it isn't topped off with sardines.
Do they got sardine pie over there?
Well, Michael, I'll let you go. Then, James, if you can talk 10 more minutes, I want to talk a little bit about paranormal stuff with you.
Sure.
All right, James, thank you for a great show tonight. This was a lot of fun. And
thank you, Michael. I had a great time. I'm glad we got to talk.
Yes. All right, Gary.
And
we'll
Michael,
talk to you later.
And Michael, tell your son I like lemon meringue pie.
Okay, I'll let him know.
Okay.
He'll have it ready for you.
Okay.
Hold the sardines.
No sardines. Kipper snacks, okay.
Oh, Lord.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Somehow those eyes on those poor fish on that ice cream made me this grossed me out.
That's too much.
Yeah. Oh well.
That was precious.
Just as fishy as she was during our whole marriage.
You're killing me.
So now, have you ever had a guest on that you were freaking out on? I mean, don't mention names or anything if they're male or female, but have you ever had a guest on that you figured you bit off more than you could chew?
Yeah, I had one that kind of a loose cannon. You never know what they're going to say, if that's what you mean. Yeah. But what I had to do is just kind of like a chess game, plan ahead and try to lead them away and just distract and move over here, so to speak. But yeah, I've had a few of those.
I don't know.
You never know. You never know who they're going to offend.
Well,
Good Lord, yeah.
The reason why I say that, I had this publicist contact me along with the guy who wrote this book on vampires. Bugged me for months. Every day, I come into the studio, I turn on the computer, I start reading my emails. He wants to be a guest on my show. He wrote this book about vampires, right? Or not vampires. Mm-hmm. It was Walking Dead type of people. Zombies. I'm sorry. Zombies. He wrote this book about zombies. That tells you how much I even remember about the guy. About zombies, right? So I get this guest on. Now, you have to admit, 2 months at least, every weekday, I would get an email, okay, from, his, agent and himself wanting to be on the show. And they would never send me a copy of the book. They kept making excuses why they couldn't.
Oh, really?
Couldn't send me a copy. Everybody who ever wrote a book to me, I have this whole group. I got 3 bookcases full of books.
Well, you would think they'd want to get it to you so you could, get the word out about it, whatever.
Oh, yeah, and I do promote it. And you know what? I do read. Anytime a guest wrote a book and they sent it to me, I read at least half of the book through it. And then I skip to the end of the book just for I know questions to ask about their book. Because if they take the time, to send me the book, I'm going to take the time to read part of it, I can interview them, and it's fair only to them. But I didn't get this from this one guy, right? So I made the mistake, okay, and I booked him. The night he comes on, I booked him for 3 hours. This is when I was doing 3 hours, right? So the first thing, I introduced him and we talked for a minute. And then I said, well, hey, tell everybody about your book. What got you to write it? And he goes, well, I always wanted to write a book about zombies. Okay, that's cool. Well, what can you tell me about it? Well, I really don't want to give any of the plots away. Well, can you tell me, a little bit about it? I mean, what's the book about? Well, it's about a boy and a sister. Okay, we're talking about zombies and this boy and the sister. And I managed to probably get 3 or 4 more things about the book out, that they woke up and there was some type of thing going on, and all of a sudden everybody was turning into zombies. That was the last thing I got out of him. That was like in the first 20 minutes of a 3-hour show.
That took some work.
Now, James, I am panicking. Okay? And, I actually had another person here from a radio station sitting on the couch while I was doing this show. And my son was here, who helps on the website. He was sitting on the other side of the couch. They couldn't keep, from laughing, and I'm having to mute my microphone steady, right? I'm not even worried about laughing. I'm trying to figure out, okay, I have a guy from a radio station, it maybe might be interested in listening to the show, picking it up for the radio station. I gotta pull this off, right?
Yeah, you got it right.
I'm now relying on every zombie movie, TV show that I can remember since the day I was born.
What's his name? George, what the big zombie writer there? I can't think of his name now.
I can't either.
Romero.
I was talking about, like the zombie says, send more cops, because they were desserts, to him. But I managed to pull it off, but I'm realizing, I'm just talking about these little clips from all these different zombie movies from Night of the Living Dead, the Dawn of the Living Dead, and all this stuff, right?
All your mental cliff notes.
Yeah, everything I could remember, and probably half of it was wrong. They were mixing in between all the different, ones, right? I get off the show, right? And now I'm really sweating bullets. The guy, almost pissed his pants sitting on my couch, which I would have been upset about. He leaves, and then all of a sudden I start looking, on my website, and I'm getting people messaging me, saying, hey, this is the best comedy show. They actually thought it was a comedy show.
Yeah.
And we have a donation button on our website, to help support, what we do.
Right.
People were donating $10, $1, $100, dozens and dozens of time. People were donating like mad and sending notes that you should do this every night. That it was the best thing they ever heard in years on radio. And I'm going, oh my God, the whole thing was a nightmare, accident, a horrible thing that ever happened to me in all my years in radio, and people like it.
It was an improv of cliff notes from every zombie movie ever made.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It worked.
And probably things that never happened that I just said to make it fill in for 3 hours. Now, but the reason why I'm saying this, have you ever had somebody on that was so outrageous that or you had a guest on, it was scared to talk?
Oh, yeah, I've had a few. I've had a couple like that. I don't say who they are, but yeah. And then, I try to keep it as clean as I can, and when them F-bombs come, it doesn't bother me, but there's a lot of people it might bother out there. Be like, what, was we watching a porno, or what was we watching? It's like,
oh, yeah. Well, one of my former hosts I had on, his very first night doing the show, he had a guest on, with a cell phone, and he was interviewing him, right? Halfway through the thing, I'm sitting here, I'm board operating his show, remotely for him. I hear this. I hear somebody taking a leak in the toilet and flushing it as he's interviewing the guy. The guy's talking while he's taking a piss, and it's going over the thing. And I told the other host, I said, if that ever happens again, end the show. I mean, come on. I mean, and the guy goes, I didn't know what to do. Well, hey, now if somebody goes in there and takes a pee or takes a dump while you're interviewing them, don't do it.
You gotta take time out to write a protocol on the do's and don'ts of when to hit the button.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing I do have, and unfortunately, like Michael doesn't have on his setup. I got this special little button, and I push it, okay? And this button actually goes, everything we're doing right now is being delayed 10 seconds.
Yeah, right.
And I can push this button, and if you call me a fool right now, I push this button and nobody hears it. Of course, I don't care if you call me a fool and the people can hear it. That's their debate. But what can I say?
But then you release the button when you're calling me a name, but mute it when mine's coming back.
Yeah.
You'd be like, that guy's calling me names all the time. What's going on?
I don't know. But hey, like I said out there, people, you need to tune into James' show. I mean, the guy is working hard. He's building up an audience. And, and that, I'll be honest with you, doing it on Facebook is really probably even harder than what I try to do because you're fighting Facebook. And
it's a challenge. Every time they do an update, I hold my breath. Believe me.
Well, I had one guy who does a Facebook Live said that he was halfway through his Facebook Live, and that's when they did an update.
Yeah, and you never know. See, that happened to me a month ago. They did an update the day I was going to have 4 hours for my show, and when they did it, I lost the icon to add people, and I didn't have it for a month until they updated it again.
Oh, yeah.
I had to cancel the show. What can I do,
Yeah, have you ever been in Facebook jail yet?
No. Nope.
Yeah,
never.
You're lucky. Back a few months ago when all of a sudden I got this thing where you have to boost it and pay money, I figured, no, I'm not going to do that. I'll just go on to these other groups, right, and share. And I think I went on to like 8 different other groups. The next thing I know, for 2 weeks, I couldn't share nothing.
Isn't that something? So, yeah,
but
you listen, yeah.
But during those 2 weeks, I couldn't share anything. I could easily go ahead and pay to share.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see where you're going.